No, are these ruins the ones that rain down on the rest of the lands between? Is that something that happened? I've still got no idea why this place crumbled. But if it is indeed in the past, as I've heard it might be, then that could explain why there's just ruins lying around all over the lands between. That's the next site of grace. It's just... yeah, we're going to have to deal with some beastmen before we can get to a site of grace, aren't we? At least a few of them. Lovely. There's one down. That one definitely heard us, but... didn't come over to investigate. So now he's going to have to pay the price. We know we're not far from the site of grace, so we may as well have a flask. Grand. Now, what was your loot? An old fang. So yeah, not worth killing that third lad. I should remember this at some point. But whether or not I will? That's another question entirely. You ain't seen nothing, friend. I mean, let's just ignore those lads. Too late, friends. We've touched grace. Kill us all you like. We'll be back. Also, that's another question. Why are there beastmen here? Are these just the residents of Farum Azula? Or did some sort of catastrophe turn them into beasts? Who can say? Who knows? Now, we've got time to snag all this loot before old Dragon Face lands on us, I think. Excuse me. But we probably want to try and fight this dragon. Because from what I understand, it drops some cool loot. Loads of smithing 8s. Still no smithing 7s anywhere. Which is sad. Sad times. But yeah, new site of grace, lovely. Now, dragon friend. Let's go. Again. Yeah, now we need a flask. Probably a second flask, just to be on the safe side. So we can lock onto his head, but we can't lock onto his legs by the look of it. Which is kind of vexing. And, yeah, it's just a case of it. As soon as he got a double hit there, we were dead. Son of a bitch. We could try throwing lightning at him, but I feel that's not going to do much when he's just got so much health. How did Annie manage to beat the other one? Look at him. This is bull of the highest order. Every hit is an AoE. Yeah, we're not beating this guy today. He does drop an ancient dragon smithing stone. But, yeah. There's probably easier ways to get them. We only need one. I'd like my runes back though, if you don't mind. If that's doable, my friend. At the very least we can get them closer to the site of grace before he kills us. Well, yeah, when you're not trying to worry about fighting him, you can evade him quite well just by running the heck away. Now I've got this room where a lad lies in ambush. So we'll get his mate over here first of all. You want to come on over? Oh, no. It's 2 on 1. There we go. Now, shield boys don't bother Reapers so much, because Reapers and a few other weapons, maybe whips as well, will bypass a lot of the shield's protective abilities, which is always fun. Now, yeah, that's the elevator that leads down to where all the undead buggers hang out, but we'll start off up top. I've still got no idea why one of these beastmen just sort of hangs around in a cave in Limgrave. Why is that? What's the deal with that? Because if this is in the past, it's like, did he escape Farum Azula before whatever catastrophe struck it really got going? And then he's just been living in a cave for years? Might explain why he's so weak compared to these lads. That was a really poorly aimed lightning bolt. Do I even need a lightning bolt here? Or can we just... No, it's 3 on 1. That's no fun. Oh, one of them's a lightning flinger. Yeah. This was poorly thought out. And now we're down here. And the lightning guy got us. Son of a gun. That's just cheeky, that is. Right, 1 down. 2 down. Good. As long as they don't do that backwards leap, then it's all good. Now, who was flinging the lightning at us? Was it left guy, right guy, or middle guy? Either way, that's one of them picks off. Right, so it wasn't you then, I guess. Jeez. It was probably middle guy, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because this guy's got a shield. Not very useful for him, the old shield there. And then, yeah, rush down these buggers because they were awful. And there's a great grave glovewort, so we can get Paige up to level 10 once we get an 8 and a 9. Where did we get an 8 and a 9? Giant's Mountaintop Catacombs? Maybe. There's got to be at least one other place you can get those, surely. It's weird how the special crafting materials, the somber stones and the ghost gloveworts, are so much easier to gather than the mundane ones, the regular smithing stones. And the grave gloveworts. I find it curious how they've decided to work it. Prayer book. Ooh, that might come in handy on old Ukes, actually. We'll pop back and see Turtle Pope. Potentially learn some new spells. Big charged attack into backstab for the kill. Grand. And a Sight of Grace, lovely stuff. 62k for a level now. Right, so your Somber Stone 7 and 8, I guess. I really wish they'd just made the crafting materials like consistent. So your regular weapons and your somber weapons all use just 10. That would be nice. But now that we've got that, let's bob back. Oh yeah, we need to rest at Site of Grace first. And then we'll bob back and see Turtle Pope. Sup bro, I've got some sick heresy for you to check out today. Also you can have the scroll, I guess.
Oh, what have we? Very well.
Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear and Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. We've got the faith for both of them, I think. Let's buy them. We're a lightning boy, it's what we do. And we've got the memory slots for them as well. Let's see. Stabs with a red lightning spear from above. And then summons red lightning that spreads from impact. We could pop them both on. Might get round to using them at some point, maybe. Now, are there any scythe-based skelly bones in this graveyard? We're at the end of Yuki's day, so we may as well just have a quick look around, see what we can find. I'm sure there's a few skellies that rise up around here, so let's see what they've got to offer. That doesn't look like a scythe. Oi! Stop hitting me so hard, you bugger. That's a scythe. Oh yeah, I forgot to kill that other one, didn't I? Which means he's probably back on his feet already. Terrible get. There we go. And now you. Quit with your skull throwing shenanigans. And give me your scythe. Nope. No scythe for old Yuki. Poor little man. Now, you there. Let's see. So between the two, we're back at full health. Oh, actually, no, that was just the crit one. So the crit one restores a ton of HP, it seems. Both could potentially be overkill, but we'll see. What's along here? Is this how we get to Crossbow Lad? Time for revenge. Although I think he might have landed on some ground down below, so he's probably respawning. But that's fine. We'll grab ourselves another Great Grave, that's cool. That's very cool, in fact. Definitely at the end game now. Ah! Jeez. That was an ambush and a half. And it almost got us. So close to being got there. Whilst I was too busy looking at the path ahead, which appears to be over here. Or is that just another way down? Because that looks like you can go... Yeah. Hup. So that brings us back to here. Okay. And yeah, is that the way we got to here? And down there and then down there? Yeah. Never mind. But then what happened if we dropped down this hole? Because there was a hole here, wasn't there? Does that do out for us? Well, let's get a crit on this lad for some HP recovery. And another. So let's see. Both of those healing things on. Yeah. We're going to get back a good chunk of health. Always good whilst you're exploring. And that brings us over to here, which is where we were, yes? Yeah, this is where we dropped down to, but now we can drop down lower still. And what's going on down here? A human of some sort. Maybe. Banished Knight armor. Why are Banished Knights here? Well, here's another of the buggers. Oops. Lovely. Just jump up and down and flail away. You'll get them in the end. Are you the only other one in this room? That seems to be the case. There's some fine panic rolling there, my friend. Also, your mate showed up. This is uncool. Turn around, mate. I've got business with your chum. This might explain the panic rolling a bit. Although, can we just pull you? Not if he's going to fanny around like that, but we can pull this lad. Oh no, that's got both of them. Now it's our turn to panic roll. But we got a crit. A crit and a kill. All of the health regen. So we've got a left and a right by the look of it. Sounds like the storm's getting up a bit. Zula Beastman ashes, nice. Yeah, the storm's definitely getting up. Spirits of beastmen from doomed Farum Azula, slowly crumbling ruins in the skies. The remains of a giant mausoleum enshrining an ancient dragon. But why is it slowly crumbling? What is going on? Someone explain any of this to me, please. What's up these stairs then? Another sight of grace. Excellent. Yeah, always welcome. Dragon Temple Transept. We only need 15k for another level. How many big runes have we got? Or have I miscalculated there and given myself 10,000 more runes than I needed? Bloody hell. Strength. Yeah, we're not an intellect character, so I'm just role-playing. Honest. Friendship ahead. Strong foe ahead. That bodes well. No hope ahead. Oh yeah, here we are. I've heard all about this. But looks like we got a friend. Recusant Banal. Yeah, come on in, friend Banal. We need all the help we can get for this next room. It's time for the Godskin duo. And yeah, everyone says this fight is absolutely terrible. I can imagine. It's looking pretty terrible so far. Come on then, fat boy. Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, God. Yeah, we don't want any of that. We don't want any of what either of these lads have got to offer. Can we get down this lad? We can. He'll be back. That's how this fight works. They've got a shared health bar, and then they just keep coming back for more. Oh jeez, I walked right into that one. We can keep hitting him though while he dies. So that's nice. Now, Long Boy returns. We can get in a crit, get some extra healing off. Get Long Boy down. Now, where's Fat Boy gone? Is Fat Boy coming back? Stay sharp, lads. There's Long Boy again. Okay. Can we get a crit? We can. Good. And we've actually done it. First try. Poggers. Smithing Stone minus bell bearing 4. Get in. Banal, ancestral follower, you are indeed the man. That's a nice chunk of rune. So what have we got? The Dragon Temple altar. Excellent. But back to base. We need to speak to Master Hugh about levelling up our picks a bit more.
Oh, Smith, now.
Tell us about the god-slaying weapon, Mr. Hugh.
Here's one. My masterpiece to slay a god. That's all I've lived for. And my promise to Queen Marika. But do me a favour and do look after the girl.
Well, we'll do our best about that. What happened to Marika? Oh, the girl even.
I've upset the girl. She says that now my chains are broken, I'm free. That if I stay here, I will be ruined with the Round Table. What use have I for freedom now? I smith weapons to slay a god. I have lived and will die doing so upon this spot. Is there any other way?
Stubborn son of a bitch, aren't you?
I can't hold on much longer. I'm going the way of the Round Table. It was a great honor to smith your weapons during my time here. Allow me to call you this just once before it ends, my lord. For that is what you are.
It's very sad. Now, let's talk about smithing weapons, shall we? So, we need, what? 10 more 8s for that one. And then we need 12 of each. Well, 11. 11 7s and 12. So, 11 and 22? If my maths is correct. You got anything else to add, Roddy?
I see.
No. Fair enough. Now we're just going to need some ancient dragon smithing stones to get these buggers up to 25. 'Cause yeah, I feel like these are going to be the weapons that where's this going to finish the game with now? There we go, 224 heavy pickaxes. For a big strong boy. Was there another route from that Dragon Temple Site of Grace? Because we dropped down, but we didn't go straight forward. So maybe we'll have a look at straight forward. He says, going right, and then going left. You know what straightforward means in Souls games. It means edge around in every other direction first, then finally go straight forward. We've got a golden rune 11. Lovely. Another banished knight lurking over there. Maybe that's where we were a minute ago when we dropped down. Not sure. Oh, hello. Where'd you come from? Have some of this. Cheeky get. He's trying to kill us. Did a ton of damage there. I'm impressed. Oh, smithing stone 6. Monsieur, you're really spoiling us. And there's a banished knight. He sees right through our stealthing. They're quite good at surviving attacks that would stagger even the toughest of other enemies, which is vexing. Although, yep, we staggered him. Ah, but then we couldn't get the crit off before he recovered. Fair play to him. So yeah, we've definitely not been down there because there's a flight of stairs with a treasure on it. And that is where we've just fought the Godskin duo, I believe. So we could go down this flight of stairs and that would take us into the same room, maybe? Let's clear out this top floor first. We'll do them one floor at a time. That makes sense. We're not even trying to sneak now. Oh, God. I didn't think it had quite that range. Some of that. One of those. That brings us to outside where we've got another lad. He's just looking out at the Tempest. Yeah. It's a nice view. And yeah, they can be crit with a charged R2. Followed by that. Yeah, I've also heard about this guy. I see you over there. Can we ping you from here? I mean, it would annoy you at best. We might need the arrow's reach talisman. No, you can just about ping him. So maybe you can kill that guy from here with cheese. But yeah, it's another of those draconic tree sentinel types. And apparently it's a right pain in the butt. But then people said that about Godskin Duo. We just one-shot the guys like it was no thing. So we'll see. Now, that flight of stairs, how do we get to it? Probably from the floor below. So let's just get to it this way. It's Golden Rune 12. Nice. That guy didn't spot us dropping down. Probably not the stealthiest in our armour and everything, but they're stealthy enough, it seems. Well, bam. That's another guy who's not going to be in Elden Ring too. We've killed a lot of banished knights today. It's good going, all told. So yeah, this is the flight of stairs that we could have come down a minute ago. I guess. And then we could have entered this room from a couple of different angles, I think. Because this is, yeah, this is the God Skin Duo room. So we could have entered it from over there, or from the direction we chose where Banal's hanging out. Excellent. So this, I presume, would be that door. Or would it? Or was this the door we came in? This might have been the door we came in. Let's see. No hope ahead. Way of suffering. Yep. If only I had a trio. Well, Wes was smart enough to bring a trio. He might not be the brightest of cats in general, but he was clever enough today. Good job, Wes.